Ladies and gentlemen, my God, my God, my God. All right. I just got finished watching episode 1 of The Mandalorian. Sorry, I'm running late. Oh my goodness. My girl OG Star Wars in the house. Oh shit. Honey, yes, I am definitely gonna go through. You know what? You should be up here rolling with me on this. To be honest with you, yeah, you. Oh my God, I got so much in my head about this episode. I got up this morning, my notifications and the comments is off the roof. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna jump on that right away. I'm just gonna stay in my lane, watch The Mandalorian, and I'm gonna give my own accurate assessment. And yeah, I'm gonna give my own accurate assessment on this. But first and foremost, I just wanted to bounce something off for some of the people that may pop in here. God Almighty. And you know the ironic thing is that I'm gonna set this off and just get people. I'm pretty much gonna set it off and get people in it. I just want everybody to get a feel of this shit, you know. And this is something that I said a little while ago, because this whole episode, ironically, I both love it and hate it at the same time. I know that's weird, right? You know, there's so many things you could take away from this first episode that's great, but then on the other side of the corner, you can also take away a lot of things that this is business as usual when it comes to Lucasfilm. And it hurts. And it hurts because in the normie's head, this is what they want. This is what they want to see. You know, something that is a little bit cohesive. You know, something that gives you that good flavor that you think is Star Wars. You know, and something that you might be feeling. You know. But I'm a break this shit down before I really get started. And hello to everybody that's coming into the chat. Terminus, Milton, Mongo, Soul Assassin. Ah, my goodness. OG Star Wars, if you're still here. If you're still here, mama. If you're still here. If you feel like it. Because I know your knowledge of the lore is impeccable. So I'm definitely gonna see if you wanna see if you could drop your wisdom and your knowledge on this shit here. Cause yeah, this thing is this is bad. This is good and this is bad at the same time. But yeah. Let me drop it before I get it away. One time for your mind. Everybody, David Hervey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I'm gonna drop the science, man. I'm gonna drop the science. I'm just doing something real quick. Everybody bear with me, you know, cause yeah, buddy, this is both a blessing and a curse. And I'm trying to, at the very least, I'm trying to find at the very least, I'm trying at the very least to, yeah, I'm trying at the very least, trying to make some sense out of all of this, but at the very least, yeah, this is both a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. And yeah, I'm definitely looking at it from the standpoint that you gotta be real with this. Stick Kenobi in the house. Shit. OG, just check your DM. All right, let me get this shit started. One time for your mind before we get going. Daisy Ridley spilled the beans. Disney now has to come fucking clean. Dominoes falling, it's so damn cool. Shield media don't know what to do. The Jedi from Jakku in school, laughing my ass off while you go boo-hoo. Tweets and videos now being deleted. That tells you you've been defeated. Oh my God, I'm happy as can be. Watching all of this for Daisy Ridley. I know she said that she couldn't find work, so I guess it's time to put Disney in the dirt. Fine by me, I'm all for that shit. Put a smile on my face, Disney getting hit. No word from Kennedy, Pablo, and the rest. Steele Saunders fainted, Ryan Johnson left. No word from JJ, that's what I expect. Everyone's so quiet and so damn stressed. Fandom Menace was right all along. We told them at first that everything was wrong. Our heroes disrespected, new characters protected. Disney agenda clear on the record. I don't mind, cause this nigga started up this whole shit. Joy to the world, let the angels flip. Ring a ding ding, the shills wanna scream. Looking all around, they losing everything. Galaxy says a bus all the way. No one liked it and no one got paid. Wild Viking yelling, the merchants and selling. Stocks took a big hit, yeah, who you telling? Losing so much money all around. The agenda fell hard thanks to your girl on the ground. Speaking of what, guess what, Kennedy is saying that you do not believe. What the hell is really in her head? Doesn't this chick know that Star Wars is dead? She said we need to reflect more on George. I said, oh, for real, bitch, please tell me more. We need to know what Star Wars is about. Oh my God, girl, please shut your damn mouth. George Lucas gave you all a treasure trove of stories to you, but you all said no. You pushed your agenda straight to the front, and it was something that no one really want. You say all of this now that your time's up. Jon Favreau got this, you shit out of luck, for real. Now check it. Mandalorian Season 2 had dropped, and what do you think? I think that shit rocks. But then I don't know, the jury's still out. Optimistic, but I still have doubts. Hope they prove me wrong. I wait till the end of the season to give my assessment. That's okay, Baby Yoda saves the day. Gina Carano, that's a hot babe. She's the best and she don't take no mess. She keeps these pronouns on Twitter so stressed. They want everybody to be a drone. She told them beep bop boop on home. That's why the Fandom Menace has rebelled, sending this failed bullshit straight to hell. I'm done with this madness. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna kick up and relax. If George Lucas is not running the show, then I'm rolling with Jon Favreau. We're out of here. I can't take it no more. Roll time call. Let's settle the score. Kathleen Kennedy went out like a sucker. JJ chillin' so hard at Warner Brothers. Pablo is still under the covers while his wife is banging out her black lover. Ryan Johnson is a cuck like no other. Chuck Wendig is the real robot fucker. The rest of them know I'm like Big Brother, breaking them down so they can cry to their mother. Shout out to Stick Kenobi. He knows the law and he breaks it down like whatever you need. And don't even let me talk about OG. Star Wars in their place once again. These are the two lore legends along with Lord Callis. Get your knowledge from all three of them, then you be like the scholar in college. You heard? But I'ma tell you what's the word. The word is this. Let your brother Abu Nas continue to spit like this. Now look, I am not going to shit on this completely, but I pray to God that when you hear everything I got to say about this episode, I'm giving you the positive and the negatives, you know? And whoa. Okay, we're gonna do this. It's already 10 minutes in. We're gonna do this. As a matter of fact, Steak, you wanna come in? I'm bringing you in, Steak. I'm bringing you in. But at the very least, guys, I'm like I said, I'm so glad you guys are here. And like I said, I both love this episode and hate it at the same time, and that's weird because I shouldn't have to feel like that in a Star Wars. Yeah, OG, I'm having them coming. I sent the invite to you too, but I don't know if you have seen the episode or not. But either way, all right, let's get this right off the top. You know, hello to everybody that's coming in here. 20 people in. I'm not gonna be long, but I seriously have mixed feelings. I really do. Stig, I just sent the there you go, brother. Oh my goodness. Big dog, where you at? You know what? I wasn't even expecting to have guests. Let me get my let me get my my headphones real quick. Yeah. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Hello there.
Whew. Stig, do you there, brother?
Yes, I am.
All right. Welcome aboard, partner. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. It's leaves are falling from the trees in Norway, and it's getting darker in the evenings.
I know.
I like it.
I just got finished watching The Mandalorian. I got up this morning. My notifications was blowing up. And, you know, I didn't go through all of it. I just, breezed through a few. But I knew I was going to watch The Mandalorian. I knew I was going to have to make my accurate assessment. I can't wait until the next Dark Council. We will probably go into it even more in depth. Second Street Marvel, God bless you, sir. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a minute, man. Good to see you here. Buckaroo, Bonsai, Mongo Big Things, David Hervey, Lord Vader, Soul Assassin, Goober, QB Malik. Oh, man. Walaikum Salam, brother. Good to see you here. David Quintana, Goober, Matt Cheese, Subhuman, Terminus. Oh, man. Yeah, we got our favorites up in here today. Yeah, OG, I know you're supposed to be working and getting on that exam, but trust me, man, we're gonna trust me, my lady, we're gonna break this shit down. Would have been nice for you to be here. I thought about you, Stig, and I thought about Lord Callis in terms of the law. I mean, I know a little bit about the law, but my knowledge is not touching yours and OG and Lord Callis, you know, because you guys got book knowledge on this thing, and I'm kind of glad that you are here, Stig.
Well, the burden is on me then to represent the Laura as well.
Yeah. I mean, I know a bit about the law. I do, especially when it comes to the games, and we'll get to that. But I want to touch on the positives of this episode first, because I'm not gonna front. I
certainly had positives.
I really like this episode. I will keep it 100. I really do. I love the fact that, and like I said, I'm getting the positives out the way real quick. I love how Mando came into the town. You know, I love how I love the ambiance of, but the episode was directed by Jon Favreau, so he took great care on showing you things that was related to that time period, you know, the Gamorrean guards fighting in the ring and stuff. Nice callback, because it was, like I said, this thing was supposed to happen sometime after Return of the Jedi. So,
I had one little thing about that. The axes. Yeah. What was up with them? Shouldn't they be cutting them? They seem to just go poof.
Yeah, you know what? I ain't even look at it that far. I just love the ambiance of seeing something that placed me in that time period, you know? Yeah. And it wasn't unlike, you know, something that you would see if George was doing the movies. I mean, shit, in Attack of the Clones, we got an actual diner. you know, like a 1950s like diner, but with aliens. You know,
Yeah.
I was digging that. I was seriously digging that. So a boxing ring is not, shouldn't be too out of the way in that preview, but
also the diner had a female droid.
Yes.
Which Disney claimed wasn't a thing before Solo.
Oh, jeez. And see, this is where the difference of knowing what was real when George Lucas was running the show, as opposed to a corporation where you got 1,000,000,001 people yelling in everybody else's ear about what Star Wars is supposed to be about. But I digress. Back to the positives. The whole episode was more of a a coming together of races. At the very least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I dig that. I dig that just on a subconscious level. But there's a problem with that there too. But I'll wait. Then we see the Mandalorian. Now this is spoiler country, so if anybody hadn't seen it, bounce out. we're gonna deep dive in this shit. I cannot get over how seamlessly, in terms of the shots, in terms of the angles, and how Jon Favreau just brings you right into your feelings in terms of you're coming into familiar territory. You're in Tatooine. We're going to talk about Mos Eisley, Mos Espa. We're going to talk about the Tusken Raiders, the Banthas, which that goes into the negative stuff, but we'll get to that in a second. But now we come to the thing where he sees, and I thought at first that was Boba Fett. I thought it was Boba Fett at first with the Mandalorian came in the thing, but it wasn't. But when the Mandalorian took off his helmet, it was my boy, because I didn't even know he was going to be in it. My boy from Justified. That was one of the greatest TV shows I have ever watched. And I loved him in it so much that I basically followed him around. So seeing
him from Deadwood.
Deadwood, yes. That one too, he knocked it out the park. Yeah. So him being the marshal, I started giggling to myself. So I was like, all right, I get it. But you know what? My heart was so good in seeing him, man. I was just cheesing throughout the whole him and Mandalorian's little back and forth thing. And it was good. It was really good. For me.
Would you agree if I said he was the best part of the episode?
I do too. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll go one better, Stick. I would rather have him be the star of the show. Don't even be a Mandalorian. Be somebody that will probably wear the Mandalorian armor back and forth or whatever. Don't be a Mandalorian, so now you ain't constricted to the lore aspect that you continuously are fucking up on. But we'll get back on that in a second. Nicotina, what is going on? Good to see you, brother. I know you popping in here. Hopefully you can stay for a while, but yeah. But yes, he was the absolute best thing in that episode. Hands down. Baby Yoda, is Baby Yoda. He's there for the cute factor. So I don't have anything really negative to say other than the fact that,
it didn't have anything to do in this because it wasn't.
No, he didn't.
Him. It was just there, and you got some cute shots there and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a side character big time.
Right. But I absolutely love how Jon Favreau, even the speeders, he even brought like a part of the speeder from Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace.
I saw that.
Pod race.
I thought it was a piece from one of the pods that crashed.
It was. It was. It wasn't Sebulba's. So it was probably one of the other ones there. But I freaking love seeing that, and especially the pit droids. The pit droids. They brought the pit droids back. I was like, God damn. Jon Favreau is really getting me in my feelings with this episode. And I'm up here cheesing now. And I'm loving it. I'm literally loving it. I'm like, damn, now you making me feel like, I got some Star Wars flavor in my shows or in my movie. If this was a movie and this was an hour long. So this is, I guess this was their supersized episode or what have you. But I was digging it. And just throughout the whole episode, in terms of their camaraderie and how they, they went back and forth, top notch. The production values on point. It kind of set. I don't know whether it was a standalone episode, but he said, "I hope our paths cross." And he was a man of his word. He did what he did, gave back the armor, what have you, and he left. So I said to myself, okay, he may come back to it at some point down the line, but I like the way this thing started,
Also, there was a little throwback to Return of the Jedi. The bartender was a weak way, which you see as, some of them are henchmen for Jabba.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, Timothy Oliphant in the bar, and they witnessed the Death Star exploding, and people were celebrating. And it just gave me a good feeling that throughout the galaxy, especially in Return to the... Yeah, go ahead, brother.
That one was weird, because where will they get the footage? I mean, the Ewoks didn't film it.
Well, no, but obviously, maybe they had some way of just... I mean, the Empire was massive, and so was the Rebel Alliance. They had, they ships out there when it blew up, so maybe they could have recorded it or what have you. I mean,
some of the Rebel ships would have recorded
it. Yeah, but I just love that. Even though in Return of the Jedi, you saw the mass celebrations and from different parts of the galaxy, and especially when they went to Tatooine, and I know they had that big celebration there. It just drew me right back to Return of the Jedi, knowing that even that if they were celebrating on Mos Eisley or Espa, then that other town where Timothy Oliphant was there, they probably had, you know what I'm saying? They had the little celebration thing there too, until those dudes came in there and just went roughshod. So
also the new Moss place,
yeah,
I believe is from the old EU.
Okay.
Moss. I can't remember what it was called.
Piro or something with a P. I
Peyote.
believe. Peyote or something, but I never heard of it. So I just went along with it. I was like, oh, they created a new Moss. Okay, not a problem. At the very least, don't go into territory that you may have a possibility of fucking up. Just go somewhere else and don't even do anything to that effect. But I like the way that they just did their little celebration when the Death Star exploded, and Timothy Oliphant, he drinking and everything. He's like, good for us, But then these guys came in rough shot, and it was like, okay, well, the Empire's dead now, so we taking over, So I kind of figured, yep, it kind of makes sense. The opportunity arises. The dregs of society come to take the carcass and declare themselves the big dogs in the house now. Black Sun, any other cartel organizations or what have you. The Hutts will probably have a field day behind this. So yeah, everything's going back to where it used to be before the Empire came about. But then again, Jon Favreau brought out the feels, the nostalgia. He brought that shit out full force.
Oh yeah, even the dogs Tusken Raiders were from episode 2. Mm-hmm. To see them when Anakin slaughters them.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick thing, Black Phoenix, $2 super chat. Just stopping by to show some love. Black Phoenix, salute to you, brother. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Hopefully you can catch the playback when we're done. But yeah, I like I said, a lot of people are weighing in on this thing, and like I said, I'm a hardcore George Lucas loyalist. In his EU, in everything he put together in the 30 some odd years, the 40 years 40 years plus that Star Wars been in existence, the 25 or maybe close to 30 years of EU lore, everything that he put together, everything that he approved, everything that he looked at, that he knew about, that was accepted in the canon. Even though that whenever he felt like he was going to make more movies, which was the prequels, everything would have to take a step back. But that's natural. Even if he didn't sell the company, even if he didn't sell the company and he still did his sequel movies, the sequels or the novels that was made would have to take a back seat. As much as we loved it, But this is the maker. This is his story. He has to finish what he started, you know? But unfortunately...
Well, George Lucas was actually going to follow the EU with his sequel trilogy.
He pretty much might have, to a certain extent.
No, he said it.
He did say it.
Yeah, he's on camera saying it. He said, my trilogy would have focused on Anakin's grandchildren.
Right.
And then it says, it's no secret. They're already in the novels. So that's Jaina Solo.
Yep.
Jaina Solo and Ben Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. Anakin Solo. Yep. Everybody. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Wow.
He's on camera saying that. So when people say George didn't care about the EU, he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
to the extent that he would say that on TV.
Yeah. I mean, Coruscant is EU. Ayla Secura is EU. The diner you spoke of is EU.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy the guy with 4 arms, he's from an EU novel.
Okay. See, like I said, God bless you for
in this episode, Crate Dragon is EU.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting ready to get into that now. I'm just trying to wrap up all the positives that I see in this. Like I said, great first episode, and I'm gonna go on record in saying that I had more fun just marveling at the atmosphere, at how Jon Favreau gave the callbacks to really get you into, we're still in Return of the Jedi zone, but we're going to sprinkle a little bit of the prequels to let you know that it all connects. You're on Tatooine, so these things has the absolute possibility of being there. I fucking love that. I applaud it.
I love the visuals like you did. I thought the direction was spot on.
Yes.
Timothy Oliphant was superb.
I like I said, I think he better than the Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal, ain't nothing against him, but he ain't touching my man right here. When I saw him took off that mask, I was like, fuck yeah! My boy, Raylan Givens.
my problems with this though is the writing, because it has some big issues. And I'll get to that in a.
Yeah, well, I'm about to wrap up all the positive things. Well, I'm trying to think of anything else that I'm missing.
Crate Dragon fight was awesome.
What? The what?
The Crate Dragon fight was awesome.
No, the fight. Thank you. Yeah, the fight itself was. I will say. Well, that goes into, because I can't remember. Does he spit out the acid?
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, it pukes acid on people.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Because, like I said, the Crate Dragon for me, and this is where we go into the negatives, but yeah, the fight itself is absolutely pristine. Like I said, Jon Favreau really knows how to engage you in building something up, and then when he goes into the action part, you all invested in it. And I loved it. I loved the camera angles, how it was done, and even how Mandalorian actually killed the Crate Dragon. That was on point. That was on point. But everything else after that, yeah. All right. Well, now that's the positives. Those are the absolute positives. If anything I'm going to do, I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up and recommend that episode to people that is either a normie or a hardcore Star Wars fan. You're going to find enjoyment in this. I'm telling you right now. Especially if you keep it in perspective that Jon Favreau is... See what I got to deal with, Sting?
You didn't download the episode, did you?
No, unfortunately not, because my bootleg system took a nosedive and I couldn't get it to work. So I had to bite the bullet and get the little $7.99 Disney thing. So it is what it is. You know.
I was thinking about the sirens. Disney found out, right?
Yeah. They want to make sure. That my bootleg thing ain't working no more, which it isn't. Which I was really pissed off about. So, but my youngest daughter is happy because now she got all the little cartoons that she could watch and whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But yeah, man, I highly recommend you watch this episode. But, and there's a but in it. If you're a hardcore fan like myself, Stick Kenobi, OG Star Wars, and everybody else that's probably in our chat, you know, The OG, look, look at my girl. Yeah, I gave. What was I supposed to do, huh? I mean, I was trying to work the links, and it was saying no show, nothing was coming out. I was like, come on. So I said, okay, I was not going to redo the whole thing in the hopes that it would work, and if it didn't work, then I would have wasted about an hour or two of time of my life just trying to bootleg this shit. And I said, all right, well, they gave it to me for $7.99. I said, you know what, all right, whatever. I bit the bullet, I gave it. But trust me, I bootlegged everything else before that time. So, you know, I had watched all of Mando last season on bootleg. So I was good. It's that same thing with the Clone Wars. But yeah, I highly recommend this episode, but keep this in perspective. If you are a hardcore Star Wars fan, just like me and Stig, and we love it, but we got to tell you the truth. We have got to basically break it down. Now that we're coming on to the negatives, we got to at least let you know from the George Lucas era EU perspective that they made a lot of mistakes in this.
Oh, they made a ton of mistakes for the Disney canon too.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Oh, okay. I wasn't even thinking about the Disney because the Disney canon is their thing now. So you would have thought that they, did their homework and connected their own dots. But I guess that makes it on their mind.
There's 3 things that I can tell you that are big mistakes. First one is the Tusken Raiders would never use a bantha as bait.
Yeah, I said to myself, I was like, wait a minute, and I was trying to remember in my head because I know I read about this.
Yeah,
and
they're basically holy animals. They even have
it was like their companions, like they not dogs, but it was almost like a different species that they coexist with each other.
Yeah, they're like Han and Chewie.
Exactly.
Yeah, but on a religious level. So that was if the settlers had taken the banthas and used them for that would have been cooler because then you'd have conflict.
Okay.
But for a Tusken Raider to do that, it's about the same as someone from Saudi Arabia eating bacon, right? It is on that level. So that was
that's
a big
no-no.
And the second one was the Mandalorian, and this is more like a mistake though, but the Mandalorian tells the settlers that the Tusken Raiders will not raise their blasters at you if you join them, right? They promise not to raise their blasters at this village in the future if you join.
Okay.
Tusken Raiders don't use blasters; they use slug throwers. They use regular ammo. It's not blasters. Mandalorian should know that. The long
guns that they use.
Yeah, it's like muskets because they don't have blaster technology and they actually hate technology.
They live in huts.
Yeah, and third one, and this is a big one, because in Disney canon, Tatooine was never occupied by the Imperials. There's no mention of it. I checked on Wikipedia as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was never occupied because there was no point. There's nothing on Tatooine. It's an outer rim. They have sand, and they have to farm for moisture. There's nothing there the Imperials need.
Right.
So that backstory for the guy doesn't fit. And the thing is, that guy was created by Chuck Wendig in the Aftermath novel.
Wait a minute. Wait. What guy was created by who?
Oh, Timothy Oliphant was created by, Chuck Wendig.
Oh,
yeah. He and his novel is canon because everything Disney is canon now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did not get the armor that way at all. So they contradicted their own canon. And the last issue I had was the Mandalorian is on some planet, and he learns that there's another Mandalorian on Tatooine, right?
Right.
So he goes to Tatooine to find him. And then he gets to Tatooine, and nobody on Tatooine even knows where the city is because it's not even on map. Yet, right? Nobody's been there for ages and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So how the heck can a guy on another planet know about the Mandalorian in that town? And people on Tatooine don't even know.
That's a good observation. That's a good observation.
So sloppy writing, but great visuals, great direction. And
I
the trap they made for the Great Dragon, that's straight out of KOTOR.
that is my biggest that was the biggest thing that I was pissed off about. Cause
Yeah.
in my head I said, "Oh, so there's no source material, right? You didn't
Yeah.
want nothing from George Lucas era, but you had to go all the way to Knights of the Old Republic. Everything that happened in that sequence came straight out of that game.
Yeah, and it made no sense because they changed the Great Dragon.
Yeah, the
So
Great Dragon is a worm?
yeah, so why would
No.
the Great Dragon need to have a shelter in a cave when it's under the sand anyway? That's like living in a mine, but you put a tent on top of it.
Yeah.
It was even under the ground when it was inside the cave.
And the
Right?
Great
So,
Dragon is an actual beast.
yeah, it's a worm in Disney canon.
I-
It was cool, and they did it better than in KOTOR.
Well, obviously with the special effects, but you still, in essence, rip that the whole sequence more or less was ripped off of the video game.
yeah.
I
And
looked at that. I said,
the-
"Oh hell, yeah."
That's the only reason why there was a cave there, because there's a cave in the
In the game,
Yeah, but there's no reason for a worm to hide underground in a cave. Doesn't matter if it's a cave or just sand, right? Because it's underground anyway.
yeah. Well, Stig, you played Knights of the Old Republic, right?
Oh, did I ever?
Yeah, me too. Me too. Now you know that in that cave where the Great Dragon is at. Now the Twilight, he wanted I think he wanted the pearl, the Great Pearl or something. But we was going in there because the clue to the Starforge
Yeah.
was in that cave.
But
So
you also get the pearl though.
right, true. I didn't really. I basically gave that shit away. I ain't need it.
When you kill the Great Dragon, right, with the Twilight Hunter guy, the Twilight uses Banthas as bait, and the Tusken Raiders freak out and attack you.
Right, that's right. Because we had to fight the Tusken Raiders
Yeah,
to
'cause
get
they
before we killed the Great Dragon. We had to go into their little camp or whatever, and they was pissed.
Yeah,
So
and both cannons are identical when it comes to Tusken Raiders. They have that almost mythical relationship with the Bantha, so that's why they got pissed off.
but
So they would not use a Bantha as bait. It's specified on the Disney canon side.
Yeah.
They don't even kill them for food. They eat them when they're dead, if they die from whatever.
yeah.
Then they use everything from them, and then they have a special burial ground for them.
Oh, so then again, why would Disney now just upend their own law to have them as bait? So John Favreau probably didn't, go into the whole thinking of, okay, let me really deep dive into the law so I know I'll get this shit right. Maybe he just wrote it in a manner to say, let's keep it simple for the normies because they're not going to dive deep into the law like a lot of us have.
It's not even a deep dive though, because it's only like a page or two on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So just read that and then write the script, right?
Okay.
I mean they could have just used some dewbacks as bait. They're on Tatooine, they're about the same size, or even use those hounds. But Bantha, that's a big no-no.
And then the fact that like I said in KOTOR, we had nobody from the Tusken Raiders to even help us. We had somebody that just came off the cuff. So used the same bombs, killed the Great Dragon as he was coming out. So his belly was the weak spot, and then that was it. So they followed that to the letter. They just had a lot more on the production value. But where they still messed up is that they used the Banthas.
And did you notice that a big boo-boo though? I mean, they're the Mandalorian. Well, they don't want to blow the bombs yet because it's not time. It needs to be all over it.
Right.
And it says, we only have one shot, right? Yeah, except for the Bantha with 50 more bombs behind them.
He was just chilling there throughout the whole thing until they realized he was there.
Yeah, they have more bombs. Ergo, they have another shot if they want to.
Right.
3 more shots. It was.
You know, I would not have mind the KOTOR reference had they have done it the way KOTOR did it, because the way that the video game did it didn't break the established lore of the Tusken Raiders, of how they do things with their banthas and the like thereof. Even when he pulled out because I was assuming what they did with the carcass, and he pulled out that pearl, the crate pearl. That's what it was. So
also, if that cave used to be a Sarlacc pit, and the Great Dragon ate it, Sarlaccs don't have a nest inside a cave.
Right.
They're a hole in the ground, and they grab stuff that gets close. That it wouldn't work in a cave.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And they can't even move through rock, so it's like having a whale in a jungle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But like I said, as far as the production value, I like how the special effects. So they spent the money where they needed to spend it, and that's fine. But for eagle eyes like yourself and me that plays video games, that can connect the dots, we know exactly how you came to the whole premise of the plot. To bring people together, which is fine, but then you have to have a protagonist to do it, and that was the Krayt Dragon. But he's not a worm; he's an actual dragon. So you're switching that up because the normies don't know nothing about that. But the real hardcore cats like myself and you and OG and Lorena and everybody else and Lord Cal, we know exactly where that came from. So again, if this was Jon Favreau's thing, then he's basically just showing us that, in my head, which is a positive, which I can say as a positive. If you're doing all of that, then Jon Favreau is pretty much trying to tell us, listen, I'm on your side. I see the lore. I respect it. I want to use it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want anything from George Lucas era to be faded away. And I can only commend that. I can only commend that about him. The unfortunate part is that, he's still on his watch, created all these mistakes. And now it comes to us to say that if you're going to go with the Disney canon, with the mistakes and all, then that's that part of the Star Wars imagination that Disney and fake Lucasfilm rolls with. Then that's something that the normies is going to accept, because they half of them probably wasn't even born when the real old EU was in full swing. Karen Travis when she wrote all those books, detailing the Mandalorian history and everything, and that was lore for God knows how many years.
Yeah, and it's the weird thing is, though, if they're gonna just make a giant worm, right?
Yeah.
Why the heck did they name it a Krayt Dragon? They could have just called it something else and wouldn't have been a problem.
Because Krayt Dragon is still familiar in the lore, especially when it came to us. So when they say Krayt Dragon, which they did, what was the first thing that you did? You got into your feelings. You was like, oh, Krayt Dragon. Oh, shit. Yeah, they doing lore stuff. We got excited. I got excited. I thought I was going to see the Krayt Dragon from Knights of the Old Republic, because in my head, the Krayt Dragon was, like I said, a staple in that in that video game.
I mean, Kenobi fights on in the Kenobi novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like it's his last big, hurrah as a Jedi.
That's right.
But the Krayt Dragon was designed to be like those desert lizards, only big.
Mm-hmm.
So it fits in the desert, but I don't know. Maybe they watched the Dune trailer before making the episode.
Critical Bass says, my issue with the episode was that it was exactly the same story as Chapter 4. And I'm assuming Critical Mass, a.k.a. my brother Stuntman Mike, beat for beat, Mando shows up, help a village fight back against something big. That's a good point. I ain't even think about that.
Yeah, there's similarities.
Mm-hmm. Lorena Creole says, if the Krayt Dragon likes to swim underground, what the hell did they show a windmill moving like there was air around. That's a pretty good question. I wish I had the answer for that. Tuscans honor Banthas. They bond with them to the point where one is each with each other. Yep, absolutely. Oh, Lorena says, I expect the crate dragon to be more stealthy like a snake. Just out that. Yep, it turned out to be a worm. It pretty much was that.
Certainly wasn't stealthy.
Will Gentry, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How much of the EU have you read? I have read some books in the EU, but I will happily admit that, not happily admit, I should be embarrassed, but I admit I haven't read every single book or every single novel, or so my knowledge of the EU is good, but it's not as extensive as probably my brothers Dick Kenobi, OG Star Wars, Lord Callis, and many others in our fandom. You know, so that's why even I need some help.
I'm actually just 20 books away from having a complete collection.
Oh my goodness, I'm jealous of you.
Oh, I've been spending money. I have almost all the comics too. So back in 2017, when I said, yeah, I'm going to support the EU, I actually did it.
Right. That's good, man. I'm proud. Lorena said, granted, I only seen the movies. The way the Sand People freaked out and did a get the hell out when Obi-Wan simulated the crate dragon call, I expected something more ominous. Yeah. You know what's so funny? Even a Jedi can talk to, which I kind of liked in this episode, how Mandalorian was able to communicate with them. You know, because, even Kenobi could do the crate dragon call.
Wait a minute. This is weird because in the previous season, he couldn't talk to Tusken Raiders. He used hand signs.
Oh, Mandalorian?
Yeah. Oh, now all of a sudden he can talk to them.
Oh, maybe some time has passed, so he probably learned the language and stuff. I mean, it could happen. Stephanie Janice, Smuggler's Cantina, hello. My favorite queen is in the house. Mark Krell is in here. Wait a minute.
What did you think of Boba Fett, though?
Ah, yes. The big Easter egg, the elephant in the room. It could have been. Now, at first, I thought it could have been one of the clones that, kind of like settled on Tatooine or what have you. I can't remember if a few of the clones like bailed out and
Yeah, but the others age faster, so.
So it is Boba Fett.
Yeah. It absolutely is Boba Fett.
That's Boba Fett, and that's Boba Fett done right, because Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett, so he's going to look like Jango Fett. He's going to talk like Jango Fett. So I'm an OT purist, okay, but there were certain changes that George Lucas had to make in the OT to align with everything that he put together in the PT. So no chimpanzee emperor. I know some purists like that shit, but it's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be Darth Sidious. Period. End of discussion. I
saw an interview with George when he had made those, the special editions where he added some scenes.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was gonna add a shot of Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc, but he didn't have time to do it.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, because he was saying that all the fans know that Boba Fett had survived and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
He was gonna add that, and I do believe. Well, I saw this somewhere, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
He was gonna add a scene of like just a little shot of Mara Jade in the background when Luke gets captured. I can't find a link for that though. But he even though he didn't like Mara Jade, he approved of her. So that's two things we could have had in the special editions. Boba Fett crawling out, which I think would have been a priority. That
pretty much. But the fans know he survived. So and George rolled along with it because he became that popular. So he kind of figured, okay, let the fans have that. And this is another thing why I love George Lucas. After a while, it's like, but I killed him, but the fans love him. All right, let's bring him back. Was it, like I said, he fell in the Sarlacc pit. That was it. So nobody can say that he didn't escape and this, that, whatever. He's Boba Fett. So he gave it that leeway. You would have think corporations could think of something like that. If your fans love something, let them have it.
He had a jetpack. If anyone can fly up, it's him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, Critical Mass made something that kind of got my eye right here. He said, "Abu Nas, the problem with Boba Fett is he way too old for how old he's supposed." That is true. That is
Yeah.
very, very true. That is, but I'm thinking with a little bit of special
Well,
effects, they could make it work. I
well,
mean,
actually, if you he he's Boba Fett is about, let's see,
well,
about 30 years older than Luke.
pretty much. But before, but listen, the OT when we watched it, there was no PT to bring the context that it can't be no more than maybe 20, 20,
Yeah,
25
so
years.
Boba
At,
Fett should be in his 50s because there's
not by
nine.
the OT standards.
Well, there's 19 years between episode 3 and 4.
Right. Boba Fett can't be no more than maybe 10
He,
or 11 at that time.
yeah, so he was 10 at episode 3, maybe,
Right.
and then so
19 years.
29, and then there's 6 years of the OT.
So that would make him like around 36.
Yeah, and then the Mandalorian is
Only
5 years.
5 years. So he would be
Yeah,
around 40.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. So it can
yeah,
work.
it did look too old.
Yeah, he does, but he can still work it though. He can still work it. I mean, if they do it right, they can make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be in the armor and he's gonna have his helmet, unless he's gonna have him come out there with a few shots and you know what I'm saying, and really try to play it all from the camera angles or whatever. But they can make it work. I just like the fact that he stuck to the established lore, knowing what Boba Fett looks like under that mask. We know what he's supposed to look like under that mask, thanks to Attack of the Clones. So that's it. He's going to look like Tamura Morrison, and I love how he turned around and you could see his face clear as day. And I said, either that's a clone or that's Boba Fett. And if that's Boba Fett, then Pedro Pascal's time as Mando is going to be over soon, pretty much.
I don't think we're gonna see him in the Boba Fett armor though, because I'm gonna be blunt. The actor is too fat for that armor now. Because I've seen him.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fit. So I don't think he ever gets to put the armor on.
It would be nice, but then again, we don't know what's going to happen in probably another year from now, what have you. I'm just saying all the drama that Pedro Pascal, went through when, not letting him take off his helmet, but yet everybody else is doing it. And it's really not, I don't know why the Mandalorian show made it a big deal that the Mandalorians have to always wear their armor when they didn't do it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they didn't even do it in Rebels.
Right. And that's the Disney law in Rebels. At the very least, Clone Wars was still Lucas era.
Yeah, and that's a big gripe though, because in the intro, it kind of sums up season 1.
Yeah.
And the armor lady tells the Mandalorian that they need to find the Jedi so Baby Yoda can be with them.
Mm-hmm.
And she says the Jedi were old sorcerers that we fought side by side with eons ago. And I'm like, it wasn't eons ago. You did it in Rebels and the Clone Wars. It was decades ago. That's not an eon.
No, it's definitely not. Unless you're going back into the history where you did, get on their side, but obviously you were still enemies. I know Darth Revan, had to get it in with the Mandalorians, and he became Mandalore. So I mean, but that's going way, way, way back. And I know the normies ain't going that way, way back. They don't know what that is. So they made it kind of simple, like, okay, well, blah, blah, blah. But really, seriously, they took their helmet off. But Pedro Pascal made such a big deal out of it, and then he got an injunction for him to take off his mask. So his mask is going to come off, from what I heard, in episode 4 or something like that. He'll be able to take off his mask or whatever. But I know probably after this season he's done.
Did you the Lord of the Rings, the guy who plays the dwarf, Gimli?
Gimli, yes.
John Rhys Davies had to wear a face prosthetic for 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he was allergic to it. and
Oh,
his face was peeling off, but he still did it, and they could never see his face, right? And he went
right.
through all that, and it didn't whine. Then Pedro Pascal is throwing a fit because he has to wear a helmet for 6 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. Soul Assassin said it would be interesting if Timothy Oliphant was a Disney version of Jodo Cass, who used Boba Fett's armor to be a lawman. You know what? I, like
Probably
I
where they got
said,
it from.
I would rather take the Marshal over the Mandalorian because I'll be honest. You know, the Mandalorian doesn't act for me in a way that that really has me engaged in him. I like his story, but the way he acts is so monotone. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, he's
yeah.
all business and everything, but when you see Timothy Oliphant, you see personality, you see heart,
Well,
and you.
think about this. Timothy Oliphant as Carl Katarn. That would have been perfect casting.
Ooh, yes, yes, that yes. Damn, now, damn, Stig, you messed up my head because now I can't get that out of
Yeah,
my head right
just
now.
give him a beard, and in Deadwood, he can pull off the pissed off face.
Oh
Holy
yeah.
crap!
Oh my God. That he gave him a pissed off look when he was with his drink, and he said, "You want to do this right now?" He said, "Yup, right now." And Timothy gave him a look like just like he did in fucking Justify, like, boy, you
Yeah,
don't want to fuck with me, okay? I was
yeah.
sitting up there like,
You
yeah,
know,
baby, yeah.
picture that face plus a lightsaber when he thinks Jan Ors is dead.
Oh my
It
goodness.
would be so badass, and
Oh my
you know he's
God.
gonna get the bad guys, right?
Oh shoot, that's like orgasm times 10.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunities, brother. Missed opportunities. God damn. You know what? It goes without saying that even in this first episode, with all the issues that they do have, in terms of keeping with the law, and I only think it's only going to get worse as we go along. That's the thing that's really bumming me out. OG Star Wars says Disney Star Wars don't have lore going back eons. No, they don't. They making this shit up as they go along. Lord Vader said Cobb Vanth was created by Chuck Wendig. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, it was in the aftermath novel.
Jeez Louise. That after I couldn't even get past that. I couldn't get past the book. You
The,
know? I only read up to like maybe 120 pages. I said I can't with this shit. I put
yeah,
that right on my shelf in my cubicle at my job. So
yeah, and
that's
he had a Wedge retire due to an injury, so he became a flight instructor,
yeah.
and then
But he came out of flight instructor school and Rise of Papa
yeah,
Palpatine.
oh yeah, it's like the most contradicted novel in Star Wars.
Yeah. And he had the nerve to say he's a best-selling author. Oh, God
Yeah, but
almighty.
he was, but it was a logo that sold. It
Yeah.
was the first canon Disney Star Wars, so of course it would sell.
Ah, okay. So that's what that is. You know what, Stig? In my head, like I said, I love this episode and I hate it
Yeah,
equally, but I still give the positives more of a bump because I didn't watch it, with like, oh God, when the no fucking the ball's gonna drop, and oh God, when is the bullshit gonna stop? No, I actually was watching it engaged. I was engaged. I was feeling the plot. I was liking how, like I said, Mandalorian and the Marshal was getting back and forth. And they gave all the callbacks enough for me to feel satisfied as a Star Wars fan that I'm enjoying the show. And that's very
yeah,
important. That's very important.
yeah. It's like the episode was like a tale of two halves. It was the direction, the visuals,
Hmm.
perfect. Timothy Oliphant was great. All the actors were great, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Honestly,
but then
yeah.
there's the sloppy writing that they could have
Hmm.
fixed so easily.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
uh, just what would be cool if at the end if they had one of the Tuscans actually using the bantha,
Uh-huh.
riding into the Great Dragon and sacrificing himself to save the settlers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that would have sent a message too,
That's right.
and it would have given someone else a chance to be heroic instead of just the main character all the time.
At the very least, I
And and it would have taught Timothy Oliphant a lesson too, because he didn't like them. So
Oh,
he would have
really?
had personal growth because he didn't care for the Tusken Raiders. He argued with them and said they were
Oh, yeah.
killers and
That's
animals and all that. So he
that's
would have
true.
had a
That's right.
development because of that.
Yep. Actually. Yep. You're right about that. Sure. I got so wrapped up on Timothy Olyphant and the Mandalorian. Yeah, that thing. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, just have a
Absolutely
Tusken
right.
Raider do something really badass.
You know,
Just
like I said, my brother from the Last Outlaw, Mando, was off the charts. That little town had so much richness for one off episode. Actually, it did. It was like a full fledged. I mean, even though it was a Moss, but it wasn't like Moss Isley. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
big and massive. And, it was pretty much like a outer space western town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that
You
was
know,
cool
and
with me. I,
it
I I was cool with that.
it actually felt like a western because you have the marshal and the gunslinger right teaming up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have some threat that threatens both the natives and the
Right.
settlers, and
And
then
the
they team
settlers.
up
Yep.
and fight the common threat. It was a western all over the place.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I love westerns. I watched it.
Oh yeah.
With my grandfather growing up and stuff. So yeah, I can dig westerns. So I gravitated towards it. Not a problem.
Which is
I
your which is your favorite western?
um there was one the Wild Bunch way back in the day. The Wild
Oh yeah.
Bunch. And the Clint Eastwood's westerns, Fistful of Dollars, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. But my for some reason my favorite Clint Eastwood western is Pale Rider. For some reason
Oh yeah.
that
That
movie
one has
just
Jaws in it. Jaws from James Bond is in it.
he was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's one of the miners.
One of the
Uh,
there we go, okay, yeah, but
ever
for
watched
some
ever watched Silverado?
mm-hmm.
That one I think.
Silverado, yeah, that was a great one. Tombstone. Oh,
Oh, that's
I
a
just
perfect
I
movie.
just saw I just saw OG Star Wars thing. Yeah, Tombstone is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
Absolute favorites. I can never stop watching that. But you know what? I ain't even gonna front. Lawrence Kasdan's Wyatt Earp. That's another sleeper gem that you know what? As much as I love Tombstone, I feel like Wyatt Earp was more on the accurate side in terms of historical, but either one is just fantastic to me. I just loved Tombstone a little bit more for more of his theatrical flair, And
Yeah.
quite frankly, Val Kilmer, that was his apex performance right there as Doc
Also,
Holliday. So,
speaking of Tombstone, Michael Bean, who played Ringo, he's
oh
gonna
my
be in
god.
The Mandalorian.
Oh, he is. Oh
Yeah.
damn, shit, the season might be picking up for me.
Uh, hey, imagine a young Michael Bean from the Aliens movies back then if he had played Dash Rendar.
Oh wow, that would have been crazy. Once Upon a Time in the West with Charles Bronson. Yeah, yeah. I got to check that out. I ain't never seen that movie. I heard of it all over the place, but I never seen that movie. I gotta actually try to watch that.
I
Uh
think Tarantino is producing a remake of The Wild Bunch.
oh, if he does
Uh,
that'll be nice. It would be nice if he directed it though, but.
oh yeah.
El Divino Vega, 4.99 super chat. Yo, just seen you live. What a do, Abu. But to chime in, The Mandalorian season 1 was nice to me. I'm waiting to be blown away by the second season. The first season was good to me too. But as a hardcore Star Wars fan, we're able to to see the good in some of the things. And like I said, season 1 as a season, I still gave it a thumbs up, but I wasn't going to let Disney ride from the mistakes and all the other shit that they put in there that was not part of the lore. They're trying to create their own lore, and the people like myself, that's George Lucas loyalists, we're not here to coddle to the 18 to 25-year-olds that want to have something different that speaks to just them. And if you don't like it, then their words is like, well, it wasn't made for you. That's not how it goes. You know, whatever George Lucas put down, that's the Gospels going from now until eternity. But corporations feel a certain way when they own a certain property, so they want to put their own special flair and spin on something. And as you can, well, maybe you don't see it the way we see it, but when we see it at the box office, when we see it from the merch, when we see it from amusement parks, they're failing hard, and they're starting to understand that. But I guess
Star Wars merchandise
it's dead.
It has dropped by over 80% since 2017, and that's insane amount of billions lost.
All because of these 18 to 25-year-olds, the pronoun kids, the fluid individuals, and all of that you catering to them. But the people that actually built this empire without hard-earned money, giving it to George Lucas, and he's showing the love back to all of us. You don't even get that, man. Mongo Big Thing says, I still love the aesthetics of the show. Me too. I'm hoping to see some great scenes from Tamara Morrison this season. Yeah, they got to knock it out the park with the Boba Fett.
I had a quote pop into my head.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. Star Wars is sinking in the gender fluids.
That's cold-blooded. Bob Lawson, what's going on, brother? That's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. But that kind of fits.
I'm the Vikings. I'm supposed to be.
OG Star Wars just said Sam Whitner was in Mando at the 13th minute mark. Really? I may have to rewatch it again. Maybe he was in disguise or something, or maybe it was just a quick blink and you missed type of.
Maybe Darth Maul's legs were in the corner.
Poor Ray Park. He can't even catch a break behind that. Justin Proper, my brother, what is going on? Listen, Justin, try to get at me, man, so I can get back on your channel when you're doing your show, because I haven't been on your channel in a minute. So get at me, man. They try to get this thing popping. Lord Vader says, he says, Lord Vader says, I saw Star Wars show recently say that Star Wars is for kids. Yeah, one of your favorites in mine, right? I personally love season 2 premiere of Mandalorian much better than the last episode that took place on Tatooine. Yeah. Season 2, the season 2 premiere was on point, Justin. We just unfortunately have to, take the good with the bad. And they fucked up a lot on the established lore that we as responsible YouTubers, that is of the George Lucas era, that Disney wants to do so hard to make you forget. But we are not going to let you forget what got us to this point in the first place. We have to respect that man. We have to respect his vision. We have to respect everything the other artists, writers, and creators of his universe did. We got to respect that.
There's a quote about fans that always pops into my head. It's if you're a real fan of something, it means you care so much that every detail matters. That quote is, you can tell which of the directors that don't care, because they don't care about the details, ergo they're not fans, right? That's right. Because a real fan would take care of Peter Jackson when he made the Lord of the Rings. The guy was a massive fan. Mm-hmm. He just made sure even the teacups, right, were from illustrations Tolkien did. Everything.
Hey, I'm a normie. I'm a normie when it comes to Lord of the Rings, because I never read the books other than The Hobbit. The Hobbit was something that my mother had picked up, and she read it to me, but she couldn't even understand half the stuff that she was saying. But I love the fact that my mother read it to me. So I never.
if you compare it though, what Peter Jackson did with the Lord of the Rings, and he's a huge fan, and then you look at what JJ did with Star Wars. JJ's not a fan, as he claims.
Not if you letting Princess Leia go past Chewbacca to hug up on Rey. No, I can't. Yeah. I can't honestly say he's a big fan. He may like it, but he wasn't a student of it. You understand? Yeah. And that's a big difference. Peter Jackson was a student of Tolkien to that effect. And whatever changes he made to The Hobbit and the films or whatever, I still enjoyed and loved the hell out of it. Just on the GP that the universe felt the same. You understand? Yeah. And that's where I would have hoped that Star Wars was on that same goddamn level. But it didn't. And then Jon Favreau comes in and he's giving you that feel. But no other director other than him, maybe Deborah Chow, maybe. And I'm still not giving her that push like that because, like I said, she only did one episode. At least Jon Favreau went on record and saying, Disney fucked up. And I'm trying to correct some of this shit. And I applaud that.
Deborah Chow did a good job with the episode she did, though.
She did. But she only did one episode. So I can't, make an accurate assessment on what her knowledge and abilities are in terms of respecting the George Lucas lore like Favreau's trying to do. She just did a good one done episode that gave you that feeling that she has a handle on it, but that's just one episode. You gotta be consistent with this, Yeah,
she's gonna direct the Kenobi show.
Oh, she is. Oh, then I'm praying.
Well, what's the point in it though? I mean, Rey was the chosen one, so Kenobi and Anakin are pointless.
They are. They did was Disney, right? But that's why me, you, OG, Lord Callis, Stuntman Mike, Justin, the Lorena, Soul Assassin, the Last Outlaws, Black Phoenix, Terminus. Who else? Soul Assassin, Mongo. Everybody that's here and that's in our community. We are here to make certain that the George Lucas era and everything that he put together will not be forgotten and it's going to be celebrated. It's just like that. The haters is going to hate, and that's why we doing YouTube videos right now. So as much as I love The Mandalorian season 2 episode 1, which I absolutely did, guess what? I put it in perspective. These are the things that's wrong. Well, Disney canon doesn't talk about that, and George Lucas don't own it, so Disney has the right to make the changes that they want. Okay, yeah, you're right. They have the right to make the great dragon a worm. They have the right to have the Banthas that was like spiritual kin to the Tusken Raiders to be bait for food. That's fine. That's your interpretation as a normie when you go and watch your shows, but you don't got established lore that dates back 40 years. You don't have established lore that dates back to a point where you can say this connects this. Oh, no, it doesn't connect anything outside of the sequel trilogy. Yeah, because the 6 films that predates it is on the other level. And you're going to have to live with it. But we are going to keep telling you about the George Lucas era and about why these things connect and make sense. And the people that you put all your credence and everything else in is losing so much money, they're looking for a way out. And I hope they will, because at some point, somebody is going to come to the conclusion that since we fucked up and we bet our horse on the wrong audience, before the old folks, kick the bucket, let's try to get this shit back on track and show them some love. So hopefully, maybe this season of Mandalorian could do it, but I'm not putting my cart before the horse with these people. No. Jon Favreau came out the gate swinging. He did the damn thing, made a couple of big glaring mistakes, but that's why Stick Kenobi is here. He's here to bring it back into balance. Bring you something that this is what this is. You go read this book. Check out this interview. I will give you the links, and then you make your accurate assessment behind that. And that's it. El Divino Vega says, I'm trying to brush up. $4.99 super chat. My brother said, I'm trying to brush up on the lore. I just started watching everything in chronological order. Currently in Clone Wars. Need to read the literature. Yes, brother. Stick Kenobi can definitely tell you. Read that literature.
Yeah. Just don't tweet that Ahsoka is a Mary Sue. Don't do that because I did it, and 20,000 idiots got on my back. I got death threats. One guy wanted to shoot me in the kneecaps. It was insane.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, Filoni fanboys are insane. They're like Raylos.
I love Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka too. As a matter of fact, I love Rosario Dawson as an actress. So she's playing Ahsoka. I don't have a problem with that. But the problem that I do have is that Dave Filoni, and I was on, and like I said, people might try to flip the script with me, right? They were like, well, damn, Abu Nash, you was a Dave Filoni head back in the days. I know I got videos of you saying Dave Filoni. Yeah, I was on the Dave Filoni bandwagon back in the day. You know, that right, because at that time, I didn't see the other, the things that he was eventually going to flip the script on. At the time, we was thinking because of the Clone Wars, because that was on point. I said, yeah, Dave Filoni should be the man in charge. He knows the law. He worked with George Lucas. But I didn't know all the other shit that was going on when George Lucas told him not to put this thing in there, and then he went behind his back and did it anyway. That's a snake move, man. That's a snake move. I mean, like I said, I could be buddies with, any one of y'all. But when I peep you doing that funky snake shit, then that pulls me into question like, yo, my dude, why would you do something like that? That's foul, man. Then you dude trusted you to hold his back. And then you did a snake move and snitched on him. Now my man doing 2 to 5, and you know what I'm saying? You copped the plea. What the fuck is that all about? Right. Then that's exactly what Dave Filoni did with George Lucas. So,
snake move?
Yeah.
That's a good word. I'm going to use that one.
By all means, man. Just tell people if they want to use it. It was like Abu Nas came up with that. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Terminus $2 super chat. Filoni fans are Ahsoka for love. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, I love me some Ahsoka. Don't get me wrong, but I know that she was not mentioned in the OT. She was not mentioned in none of these things. So why in the world are you going to push her past Return of the Jedi when leaving the Grandmaster Luke Skywalker don't even know who she is? But they're going to try to find a way to make that, though. And
can I reply to Lord Vader in the chat?
Oh, yes, please.
No, just because you like Ahsoka does not mean you like Raylo. I was comparing their reaction to the Filoni fanboys when I said Ahsoka was a Mary Sue to how the Raylos reacted if you say something bad about Ray.
Right.
So it was just a behavior comparison between two mobs, basically.
Very true.
So I'm not singling you out, Lord Vader. You're a good guy.
Yeah. OG Star Wars, thank you for finally coming in.
Hi.
I think we got you so hyped up because you was killing it in the chat.
Yeah, I sought counsel with Steve because he watched it and I haven't pulled the trigger yet and fully watched it. And
right.
It's just concerning of me, like breaking lore, but then it makes me laugh because people are so like, oh, Disney Star Wars is gonna honor the lore, and the EU was so freaking screwed up and inconsistent with the movies and each other, and that's why they had to make it non-canon. Now look what they're doing. They are breaking their own lore in their own canon. And so I say this, eat your words, people. Eat your words. All those EU haters, past EU haters, eat your words. With it. But interesting fact now, you know how everything has to have some sort of magic now in the Disney Star Wars?
Yeah.
The pearl inside the crate dragon is magical too.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was looking up because everybody's arguing now about the argument now is, oh, well, the crate dragon being a worm, well, that's what Disney wants them to look like now, blah, blah, blah. Well, they have all the rights to recreate something. But when something's fully established, like even with Luke Skywalker's character, for example, they're expecting at least that consistency to go into the new lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, all they have to do is, fine, they scrapped the EU and all that, and they said they were going to do something better. Right? Fine. but then do something better and keep it consistent. That's
true.
all the people are asking for.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to fit that Great Dragon Pearl into a lightsaber, though.
No, that thing is too fucking big.
Yeah,
it's going into Star Killer Base, okay?
Yeah,
Terminus EST $2 super chat. Funky snake shit is best reserved for the bedroom. Actually, it is. My brother Justin Proper with the $5 super chat. I hate having Ahsoka and Mandalorian. That means I have to watch all of Clone Wars and Rebels to understand everything. I don't have time for that shit. You know what? Don't. Justin, don't. As I said, that woman had a shelf life the way it was supposed to be under the Lucas direction. She's not supposed to live past the OT. She is not. Everything Filoni is doing with this guy, and like I said, in the Lucas era, he would not even dare to do something like that. As a matter of fact, Rebels came after the Disney sale, right?
You know what they could have done that would have had a hell of a lot of impact? They could have had Anakin kill Ahsoka after he turned into Vader.
That was supposed to happen.
Yeah, because
it only makes sense.
How far he had fallen, and now you have when Yoda says, "Oh yeah, the Luke is the last hope" and all that. No, he isn't. You have Ezra, you have Ahsoka, you have that guy from the Fallen Jedi game. There's
at the very least, he was part of the old canon before the Disney sale, so I give him a pass. The George Lucas approved of that game. And that was a hell of a game too. I played the first one, that game was on point.
I think you're thinking of Force Unleashed.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is a new one.
Oh, Oh no, I haven't played that game. Okay. Oh, but that's pure Disney right there. So. I don't want to talk bad about it since I have not played it, but I don't really know how that whole thing. Drunk 3PO played it. He loved it. So if my brother loves it, then I could,
Keep in mind that he's drunk.
Yeah, he is. But like I said, he's the handsomest man on YouTube. So what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Lenora King, hey, popping in. Oh my goodness, so glad you popped in. And hello to you. And Lord Vader said they're making a Force Unleashed 3. Wow.
It's rumored.
It's rumored? Okay, I haven't played it.
Popped up today or yesterday, that rumor.
I think 2 days ago, I think it was someone shared it with me. It might have been Ichigaka. I'm not sure, but and then I shared it yesterday with a question. So, what do you think about this, gamers? And so I've gotten like 50 some responses to it. Yeah, so people are like, well, if LucasArts is no longer here, then can we even trust because they're going to give the rights to EA? Can we even trust?
No, we can't trust EA.
It's going to have to be an EU product, though, because
exactly
if they make 3, then 1 and 2 has to be canon as well.
I know the first one is absolute canon, so I haven't played part 2.
It was
it
was canon. It was Lucas canon, but it's not Disney canon.
No, it isn't, unfortunately.
If they make 3, that means 1 and 2 has to, follow 3. So it has to be be under the Legends banner, really, because it doesn't fit in the Disney lore.
Yeah, Star Killer Galen does not fit in the Disney lore whatsoever.
Right.
So it would be a Legends production, which they have done before. They've given us 108 comic, and they also updated Sator as well, and still made it Legends. So with Sator's update, it still means Legends.
Yeah, that's a moneymaker, But if the Force Unleashed follows the EU, I'm going to buy it just for that reason.
I probably will follow. I will follow you on
an EU
that
product.
stage.
And the comic they released last year was awesome.
Yes.
Marvel 108. I loved it, and
Send me a link to it if you can, Stig. I'm gonna have to check that out. Justin Proper with the $2 super chat. Mando had better tremors than the last 3 movie. You ain't never lied. Shoot, you ain't never lied. Well, at the very least, Fallen. Bob Lawson said Fallen Jedi too much like old Laura Croft.
Wow.
I never played the game, but like I said, Drunk
Actually-
3PO signs off on it. So
Actually, he's right, because it looks like one of the Tomb Raider games, and they did the lightsabers wrong, because in Fallen Order the lightsaber is more like a damage stick.
right.
It doesn't cut people. You know, in the the Kyle Katarn games, that was lightsabers done right. Because if you hit a stormtrooper with it, it was dead. It would have arms flying and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Right. Lord Vader said, Abu, you should play Jedi Fallen Order. It's a great game. Like I said, Drunk 3PO love it. He signed off on it. I pretty much, me and Drunk 3PO have, normally the same taste and stuff. Lord Vader also said SWTOR is Legends. Yeah. The Star Wars, the Old Republic, MMORPG. As a matter of fact, I know OG Star Wars is probably covering up. Wait a minute. Let me take out for 1 second. Be right back. See that picture right there? Oh, shoot. Damn. I can't even put... Okay. Because you can't really see it. But under OG Star Wars, that's my character from Star Wars The Old Republic. I play a Jedi consular. So this was way back in 2011 when the actual game came out. That was, probably, but it was in development for maybe like 2 years before. So George, they, like I said, BioWare, the people that did Knights of the Old Republic, basically created this MMORPG game, open world game. So with story, with class stories that definitely is full of EU, full of the Lucas EU. So, and he approved of everything. Anything that they put together, they ran it up the chain to the boss. The boss loved it. The boss approved and let them and gave them free reign to create this world. The same thing that he did with Galaxies, Star Wars Galaxies. I've heard stories about that open world game, that became almost legend. I missed that boat, but some of the people that I played SWTOR with, they was actually saying no. Star Wars Galaxy was that game. You could literally build your own factions and this and that. Be part of a Mandalorian crew. The bounty hunter crew. You was able to live in that world, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic until someone decided to change it. There was like a patch or something that changed it. And it got really bad.
Oh man.
That's why it went away.
Right. Soul Assassin said, I still want Star Wars 1313. Yeah, that was in production. The Underworld and Coruscant.
That was about 75% in production, which kind of made amazed people to why Disney Lucasfilm decided not even to follow through with the rest of the production since it was almost done. It was supposed to be a big, huge moneymaker. So that was another thing they failed on.
Female writer too.
Yeah.
Female game writer, developer, and
no way.
Yeah,
right.
and they was the one who made the Uncharted games.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah, and the main character for Underworld was a female bounty hunter too.
Before all of this, all the bullshit started, we had a female protagonist that you could have latched on to, whether man or woman, just because she was a good, well written character.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the novels that were in planning phase before they canceled it. You had 2 Nomi Sunrider novels. They got canceled. You have 2 Darth Sana novels. And a Jaina Solo trilogy. So no women in Star Wars, eh?
And Nami Sunrider is a legend in the comics, in the old Tales of the Jedi comics.
She's even mentioned in the KOTOR games as a legend.
Yeah,
that's right.
Window tells a story about her.
Yeah,
that's right.
And not only that, they were also in production too for the Battle of the Sith Lords, which would have Darth Talon train a descendant of Darth Maul during the Legacy era. It was a game as well. That was in production as well, and they had to. It was in the planning stages, and they had to basically abort it because the buyout.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, we could have had a Darth Talon game.
Yes.
I mean, come on, she's like the best.
Yeah.
She's so great. She doesn't even need clothes.
And the easy thing about it is that she was a bona fide Sith, you know, and we haven't seen female Sith. I mean, Darth Talon came before the Bane trilogy novels, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, we did
was there before the Bane trilogy novel, I think.
We did have Kreia in KOTOR 2.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, the blind one. I loved that game, KOTOR 2, up until the end though, because the end kind of confused me. But
you know what? The developers didn't have time to finish the game, which is why the ending is weird. But
so that's why it ended on a weird note. Okay.
Yeah. But and it has a lot of dead ends too. But they got together and finished the content that was cut.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually download that now as a free mod to the game.
Oh.
So you get the complete thing, and it has the voice acting, all of it. It's nothing missing.
Okay.
You get a game that makes sense.
All right. I mean, playing the game was still fun all the way up until the end, but but I'm so invested in SWTOR right now. And Bob Lawson said, "Yeah, SWTOR trailers are the greatest. Wish those guys would go make them more." You ain't never lied. Those trailers for SWTOR for the game itself was like mini movies.
Yeah.
And it had a narrative to it too. But you would have never known. And we was thinking, damn, man, if they making games like this, who'd have thought that the movies could be? Nope. Disney dropped the ball. Yeah, Stunning and Brave Megatron's son said them sexist. Yeah. Nami Soul Assassin said Nami Sunrider would have been in Knights of the Old Republic, but got changed to Bastila Shan for some reason. Bastila Shan is still a legend, Joe. So I'll happily have both these ladies, but it goes to show that when they're making female characters, they're making female characters as universals, as characters to the story, and not try to place this whole thing on the gender. But like I said, we came to the part of our lives where, hey, now all of a sudden the young people is all about identities, and they not even look. Even their stories have to focus on identities, and that's where everything is going wrong. That's why everybody's losing so much money. So, Silkery interpretation. Does OG know anything about the use of crate dragon pearls and lightsaber construction? Oh,
no, it wouldn't fit.
Well, it fit in KOTOR.
Yeah, it did, because it was a small pearl.
But this one's huge. Okay, so I didn't play KOTOR, so like thinking about like the size of the crate dragon and that pearl. Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah, this one was like a basketball.
Yeah, I did zip through the movie and kind of like clip through scenes, and I seen it, and I was like, "What? Oh, yeah."
And he was holding it like this, and everybody was like, like he just won the World Series and stuff. So
yeah. All right. So here's a couple of comic series that was in production that didn't come out because of the buyout. So Dawn of the Jedi comic series, the comic book series, and the era were basically would flesh out the origins of the Jedi further.
Right.
Then Invasion comic series, which were set during the New Jedi Order and were left unfinished. Crimson Empire was also left unfinished for decades. They did finish it, so they did finish that. And then so they were developing more comics for the New Jedi Order era.
They were gonna they were also gonna have the Old Republic storyline move all the way up to the prequel era. They were going to cover all those years, and then they were going to cover
great.
That
would have been great.
The last novel, which was Crucible.
Yeah.
That one, they were going to go from that one up until the Legacy era to connect it in that in that end too. So that's where the Jaina Solo thing was going to happen. And if you've read the Legacy comics, you have you have the Fell Empire. That's Jaina Solo and Jagged Fell's descendants. right?
Spectator
Yeah.
said Talon was supposed to be a villain in the Lucas treatments, but I guess sexy female Twilights can't be villains. Well, would have been nice. Dob Lawson said,
Well,
"Yeah, two of them in Swotor got me teary eyed too. The one with the twin brothers, and the one with the mother Jedi trying to save her daughter. Oh yeah, yeah, that was great. That was great. Well, like I said, I advise anybody, if you want an open world game that's true to the Star Wars lore that Lucasfilm put together, then play the game Star Wars: The Old Republic by the same people that did Knights of the Old Republic, and Knights of the Old Republic is universally loved throughout all of the fandom. Well,
oh,
wow.
they did a Dragon Age and Mass Effect too. Both of them are have incredibly well written characters.
Yeah.
So if you like Knights of the Old Republic, I bet you'd like Dragon Age as well.
This
Nice.
for you, OG.
Oh, thank you. It says OG legit could be the librarian in the new Jedi Archives library.
You heard? You see? And shit, I co-signed to that. Shit, if
Well,
anything, I watched
actually,
Attack of the Clones and I saw the Jedi Librarian. I had OG's face on her body while she wearing it with the lightsaber.
you know, I will. No, that's not. OG can't be a librarian. You know what?
Why?
Because you're supposed to be quiet in the library.
Mm,
She just talk Star Wars all the time.
oh no, but that's what
She
we.
get tired.
Well, that's what we need. We need somebody tirelessly, showing people what the whole thing with the Mandalorian. What this is the way. That's why you and OG get so much heat from these normies that just can't seem to let go of the fact that Disney fucked up. They want to protect what makes them happy. They don't want to, do the legwork to get to know the knowledge and the lore that Lucas put together. Because if he wouldn't have sold the company, we would have still had this. So why would you not want to learn where your roots are?
I had this one guy today that got a bit pissy with me, and he claimed that the Empire had occupied Tatooine in Episode 4. Like, no, they didn't. They sent a troop of stormtroopers to hunt R2. They were chasing Leia, and the ships were above the planet. They didn't occupy it. I'm like, if you don't even know that,
I read that. Oh, go ahead, OG. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was agreeing, but I'm gonna say this. So people say that you will continuously hear me say that I think the Mandalorian is a salt in the wounds to like Boba Fett and Mandalorian culture. I did explain it in the chat, and I think I've explained it on my Twitter before.
Right.
And that's giving the Mandalorian Jango Fett's back origin story and how he became adopted, and then now having the Mandalorian take off with Boba Fett armor. And then I'm gonna follow up with this. Okay, so if no one really, I don't know how many people have read Crucible, and knows that very last book before you have that big time gap between Crucible. Well, they were set near to give Boba Fett's granddaughter up to be the next Mandalore or the next. So they were. This was written after the Clone Wars, so they were retconning what they did with the Mandalore, Boba Fett's origins with the Mandalore, with creating, are going to set up Mir to give as the next ruler or Mandalore.
No way.
We're going to be Mandalorian.
Yeah, and there's like a major plot hole because in the Clone Wars, Filoni decided that Jango and Boba weren't Mandalorians because they weren't born on Mandalore.
Right.
And then he writes The Mandalorian, where the main character is not born on Mandalore, yet he is a Mandalorian.
He's adopted, like the old culture.
Yeah, so that's
oh man,
that's a complete contradiction, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that's okay. Color me convinced. Color me convinced. Terminus EST with the $2 super chat. OG's got to get that Lucasfilm job app ready now. Yeah, well, they're not going to hire her. You want to know why they're not going to hire her? Because she pretty much will have to literally take over, kick everybody out, get a whole new staff, put Lucas's portrait back into the office. You know what I'm saying? And go through the whole spiel right there. So at the very least, we talk now. Listen, this live stream was all about the Mandalorian season 1, season 2, episode 1. We said a lot of great things about oh my goodness. Oh, dad mode. My daughter's having a meltdown. God almighty.
Oh no.
Anyway, well, we were gonna wrap it up in a second. What was I saying? Yes, the season 2, episode 1. We're trying to give you a balance in here in terms of what I and Stig, because OG Star Wars didn't see it yet. What I and Stig really liked about how Jon Favreau is giving us that George Lucas flavor. I know that's what he's trying to do, and I applaud him for it. I applaud him every time that if he's in front of the camera, I feel good knowing that he's giving us something to know that he's connecting the dots and he's trying to keep it as consistent as possible. But unfortunately, some of the writing behind it does not keep things consistent, and we have an obligation. Myself, Stig Kenobi, OG Star Wars, Lord Callis, and everybody else in the fandom that thinks the way we think when it comes to George Lucas's EU lore, Lethal Lightning included, Ryan Kennel especially, we have to tell you this. We're not telling you this as a way of just trying to kill your love for what you see on the screen. You're going to love Ahsoka when she comes out and everybody's going to be Ahsoka happy and this is my badass female. You know what I'm saying? She's making it like the Lucasfilm version of Wonder Woman, which is not a problem. I like the character too, but I do understand that where she's at now is where she's not supposed to be in the actual lore. The lore that really counts, and it's not the Disney lore, because they can't even get their own lore straight amongst each other. So, you know what you should do as a Star Wars fan, to anybody that looks at this video or hears our voices, stick with what was working before the Disney sale. You really won't regret it, to be honest with you. You know.
Yeah. The stupid thing is, every time I get, hate on Twitter and whatever, for not liking this and that, I always take the time to explain why why I think this is a problem, right? So if I was just hating it to hate on it, I wouldn't take the time to do that.
Yeah, Lord Vader said if John respected why did he make the crate? No, I totally agree. Drop the ball on that. But at the very least, I knew what he was doing in terms of what our eyes saw. For all of us that played the game, we instantly knew that was a direct takeaway from Knights of the Old Republic. Everything down to them taking the bombs to the cave. Everything. Even the crate pearl is a callback. So at the very least, he understood. Maybe he felt the need to take the dragon out, make it a worm to make it, I don't know, make it better for the special effects team to do what they do, which they did a good job, a very good job as a matter of fact. But crate dragon is not a worm; it's a dragon. You should have stayed with that. So I get what you're saying, Lord Vader. So don't worry. If Gina turns out to be Cintas Vel, holy shit, Cintas Vel. Who's Cintas Vel?
Cintas Vel is Boba Fett's wife, I believe.
Boba Fett's wife. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
It wouldn't be. It would just be a shell of who she is, because they wouldn't have the same relationship. Cintas Vel is Kifar, and so she has that same psychometric ability as Quinlan Voss. And they already kind of.
She's force sensitive.
No, the Kiffers have psychometry. You don't have to be force sensitive in their culture. Okay. Quinlan Voss, because he's force sensitive, heighten it a lot more than a normal, less, than someone who's non-force sensitive.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, see, that's the part of the law I'm still not familiar with. So, like I said, when OG is speaking about these things, we all getting an education. So, I'm trying to take my little notes down. Okay, I got it. But yeah, I guess Gina Carano could or could not fit the bill. But I guess in terms of her actual presence on the show, she made a great impression. So and now she's become the darling on Twitter for most of us in our fandom. For trying to keep things as level-headed as possible. So yeah, we rooting for Gina Carano. So hopefully she'll have a little bit more to do. Carl Weathers, I'm still gonna be stopped short in saying that this season is going to be fantastic all the way around, and I'm not going to put that type of pressure on them, put that type of pressure on myself. I'm taking everything one episode at a time. First episode for me, 2 thumbs up, with the caveat that you got to explain to people, even if you don't want to accept it or not, that's your business. But we have an obligation. The people on my channel, people in my panel, they have an obligation to tell you the truth about lore that was established and was well kept for almost 30 years. And this has to be said. And then you can make your own assessment of what you want to roll with. And that's it. So
yeah, I'm giving it 1 thumbs up and 1 down. But as for if they're ripping off Boba Fett's wife and all, it's not the first time they've done this. I mean, look at Rogue One, Jan Ors. Jan Ors stole the Death Star plans with Kyle Katarn in the old lore. They got rid of Kyle, merged Kyle with Jan Ors, and renamed her Jyn Erso, and then race swapped her into a white girl. Jan Ors was actually Asian. So no Asians in Star Wars before. That's what they said.
Yeah.
When Rose Tico showed up, and I'm like,
that was the token one.
Yeah, you have Jyn Erso, who stole the Death Star plans with Kyle Katarn, and then they just it used to be Jan Ors.
Like I said, y'all guys broke down that lore part. I didn't know too much about it until you and OG broke it all down. But me, I still love Rogue One just for the fact that it was entertaining. It did, in their own way, connected the dots, even though they ripped off the OEU. And if anything, I can readily admit, maybe they should have just did the movie based off of the OEU, so everything would have connected correctly and properly. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But for purposes, I'm still digging Rogue One.
She even had the same hat with the goggles.
Oh, okay.
Jan Ors. It was just, why not just have Jan Ors? If you're gonna rip it off anyway. I mean,
to that degree, absolutely. El Divino Vega says, to make sure I understand and everyone else, the literature is the lore, the source material. The lore and the show or movies or game, whether live or animated, is not true to the lore. Literature?
No.
It's like this. If you're writing a fantasy story and stuff, I've done this. I've written books actually, got published. But if you're writing a fantasy story, and Star Wars is fantasy, it's just set in space. The universe or the world the story takes place in has to be consistent because it's the most important character, because it's the one that every character interacts with. And it's also the foundation of the story, right? Or it's the foundation of the universe the story takes place in, and the story. And if the foundation is not solid and it has a lot of cracks in it, you can't build anything solid on it.
I wanted Divino Vega to know that the lore before the Disney sale is the lore that myself and many others, this panel here, and many others in our community follow to the letter. So when Disney bought the property, they're starting to create their own backstories and lore, which is not consistent with the 6 movies and the printed literature that was there before it, that was told to Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, from the maker that these are the stuff that I'm giving to you for you to use. And she acted like it was not in her preview. She acted like it didn't exist. And she said we had no source material. But then she turned around and said, let's think about what George Lucas said Star Wars mean to us, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you can see the conundrum that we have. But as I said, we go right back to the obligation. We have an obligation to keep this thing as pure and simple as possible, even through The Mandalorian. So
wasn't Pablo Hidalgo involved with scrapping the EU? I seem to remember reading something about that.
I don't even
Yeah,
know.
he wasn't a big fan of the EU, and I think a lot of people knew that, even though he did write that companion book that is very accurate on everything being in continuity, which so I think is kind of ironic. But
yeah, then he did a new book, the Star Wars facts, and it's full
yes,
of mistakes. I mean, Luke Skywalker ages 1 year after his death in the last episode.
yeah, apparently, even though he's not physically there anymore, how in the hell is that? Could that happen?
Star Wars facts. That's the name of the book.
Yeah,
And
Ironic.
yeah, there was another big one too. Can't remember what it was, but it's like, yeah, this is the Star Wars lore expert. He didn't know Luke died last year, so
Yeah.
he aged as a ghost or whatever.
I know, ghost aging.
Yeah.
You gotta love Pablo, boy. You gotta love him. Not even though he trolls on Twitter, he trolls in his books as well.
Yeah, he was he was auditioning for Jabba the Hutt, but he couldn't lose enough weight to play him.
Holy crap! I know you have to go here pretty quick, but
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to close out now. So I'm telling everybody in the audience, stay with the George Lucas EU. Continue to watch Mandalorian. I give it a thumbs up. It got off to a good start, but they got a couple of things wrong that we now are correcting. Thank you to both my favorite people on this panel, Stick Kenobi and OG Star Wars. Stick Kenobi, tell these people where they can find you and where you're at.
Oh,
Maybe that's pretty much the same
on
thing.
Laura's channel usually, and I'm gonna do something with Christy. According to Christy, we're doing we're calling it Cinemania. It's gonna be she and I reviewing really, really bad movies as if they're blockbusters.
Oh, send a link. If I can't be there live, I'm gonna catch the playback.
It's gonna be recorded because
it is okay.
It's gonna be like, we wouldn't pretend it's serious, but Christy can't laugh, right? And if you know Christy, she laughs every 3 seconds,
yes.
so it has to be recorded. Otherwise it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I'm on all Christie's channels for the top 10 movie talks too on
nice.
Saturdays. And the next episode will be a special one because we're talking about horror movies because it's on Halloween. But usually we do year by year. Top favorite movies of 1999 and stuff like that. With Script Doctor is on it, Culture Casino, Tom from Midnight's Edge, lots of good people, and
nice.
I have a tiny channel too. But I'm going to be blunt, and I don't give a shit about my channel. I just have it because of peer pressure. But I somehow managed to get 400 subs though, with 14 videos I made myself, which collectively is less than 20 minutes.
Nice.
YouTube is easy. Just put up Mentos commercials.
And the one and only Jedi historian of the Fandom Menace, OG Star Wars, please let these people know who you are and where they could find you.
All right, everyone. I'm OG Star Wars, your Legends girl, trying to make it in this discounted world. And you can find me on Twitter and my channel with the same name, OG Star Wars. And I specialize in George Lucas era of Star Wars, and I love to compare and contrast between the new and old lore, and point out the inconsistencies and stuff, and have fun. Coffee chat 9 a.m. I did have a series of things scheduled for this week, but I am I'm like covered in homework right now, and so that comes first. So this Sunday, I will have the fan film review of Legacy of the Force. This Sunday at 6, I believe it is. So come, bring your popcorn, bring your favorite drink, and we'll watch it and break it down and have fun talking about Legacy of the Force as well. And then back to my regular schedule: Sunday or Thursday coffee chat, and then Thursday literature review, Death Troopers. And I think that's it for now. And just keep an eye out for lore. It slowed down a little bit because I'm going through college, finishing up my college for my AA. So thank you for having me here. I had to pop on because I was like, I need to discuss some of this stuff anyway.
No, I know you was probably holding all of this in for a minute, OG. And no, thank you for coming on, because having you and Stig here just really, like I said, I can only know the lore to a certain extent. And just having this thing with Mandalorian, which is very important, it was great for you guys to come in here and really break it down, because I'm quite sure everybody in the audience and those that may be watching probably will now get a good idea, you know, what side is making things more balanced. So thank you both for being here. And thank you to everyone in the audience. I would have had a little outro song here for you, but I really didn't have anything set and ready. But don't worry, in the next one, I'm going to be fully prepared. This was done off of the cuff. So just want to thank each and every one of you for coming here. Stay frosty, be good to yourself, and be good to others. We are out.
So watch this video.